This is worked examples for calling a method using subgoal labels in Java. These are the subgoal labels that we use when calling a method. In this video, we will actually go through two different examples. The first worked example is how do you access the value of pi? Subgoal 1 is to classify the method as a static method or instance method. This example uses the math class. Pi is stored as a value in the math class, and the math class only has static members. Therefore, this one's static. When we write the method call, we use the class name, which is math, followed by dot, followed by the method name, and open and close parentheses. However, in this case, we're not actually calling a method, we're actually calling data. So here we have math.pi. Also note that pi is in all capital letters, indicating that it's a constant. So to access the value of pi, it's just math.pi. Here are some of the constants within the math class that you can access: pi and the base value for natural logs, e. There are no parameters necessary because we're calling data, not a method. The value is actually returned, and it returns a double, so we need a variable to store that value. Let's declare a double. We'll call it pi and assign it to the value math.pi. Here's our second example. How can we get the square root of pi? Well, the first subgoal, we need to classify and see if we have a static or an instance method. As mentioned before, everything in math is static, and it only has static members, so in this case, it's static. Now we'll write the method call. We'll use the class name math, followed by a dot, followed by the method name, followed by open and close parentheses. The square root method is called sqrt, so we have math.sqrt with the open close parentheses. Here's the API, or Application Programming Interface, for the method sqrt. Note that for the parameters, it takes one parameter, which is a double, and it returns a double. For subgoal 3, do we have parameters? Yes, one parameter, which is a double. Because we want to know what the square root of pi is, our parameter in this example will be math.pi. Now let's see what the method will return. In the API, we saw that it returns a double. We'll need a variable to store that value. Let's declare one. Let's declare value, which is of type double, and it will be assigned the value math.squareroot of math.pi. Subgoal 5 says let's see if we've done this correctly and evaluate the right-hand side expression, see what the value is going to be, and whether or not we get the right value assigned to an appropriate variable. Notice this takes us back to our assignment subgoals. When we look at the right-hand side, we look at what it's doing. It's calling the square root method from the math class, and it's calculating the square root of what's in the parameter, which is math.pi, which is a double. We get the square root of pi and then assign it to the variable value. That is the end of this worked example.